You know, I know that people get excited about some of the professional experiences, coaching in the NFL, and I'm sure you've got some great stories. You know, at some point, you know, maybe afterwards you could share some of those funny stories. But your life hasn't always represented all of those sweet, amazing highlights and Super Bowl runs and such. There are some hard spots in life.
Yeah,
Share about that.
Yeah, I was fortunate. Some of you have heard me speak before, maybe. I know a couple of them have heard this story. In 1969, I was in an FCA huddle in Americus, Georgia. Wallace Lloyd, the girls' basketball coach, started FCA. We met at his house. It was great. We had a great group. He was an unbelievable man and leader, man of God, and it was a great opportunity for us as kids. And then I went to the University of Florida to play football. And I got to the University of Florida, and I went to the first FCA meeting, and it was super. There were 30, 35 football players, 15, 20 other people were there. It was great. And we had a super meeting on Monday night. And then on Friday and Saturday night, I heard about those guys talking about what they had done. And Saturday night, they're talking about what they had done. And it happens again. And pretty soon I said, they're hypocrites. I don't want to be around this group. So I walked away, and I know that's wrong, but I did. I said I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be, pulled in the group with them. That FCA's that this Fellowship of Christian Athletes is just a meeting we go to. It's not real. I'm not going to be a part of that. And it took a few years, 3 or 4 years before Christ got a hold of me again and, snatched me back and got me straight. And it was a void in my life. It was a dark, not dark, that's the wrong term. It was, charcoal. It wasn't dark, okay? So but he called me back and got me straight, and I've been fortunate to be walking with him since then, since I got that, and then it took me another 8 years, 7 years we talked about to really get it straight.
Yeah. It's hard when we hear stories like that. Some of us see ourselves in the other side of that story, using that platform for negative influence. But I love the way that even though people were unfaithful, God showed himself faithful to you, to draw you to himself.
On that.
In spite of people's testimony. But it's a challenge, Coach, isn't it? It's a challenge to say, you know what? If we have that platform, we need to use it to stand for Christ in the public and in private.
Well, I mentioned earlier about the South. You go to church. That's what you do. And there were more hypocrites that I think had a negative impact on Christianity than a positive impact on Christianity.
Yeah.
We lived in Denver, Colorado. I coached for the Broncos out there, and as well as I do, on Sunday people go skiing. They don't go to church. They go skiing. And so you find out who the real Christians are out there, because the people that show up on Sunday are really committed, and that was great.
Thanks for sharing that. A real insight to real life and the platform that could be used in a different way.